Well, the weather's given us a break today, so I can get on with cutting out Dan's Langsax. So, before the skies open and it hammers down again, I better get on with it. Right, well there it is marked out. I've got to cut it out in a second and think about getting the angles on the tang down so everything fits in nicely. Once that's done, I can concentrate on it, getting it ready for heat treat. Lots of refining to do now. Get the tang shape down. All that will be ground back. Take the pummel cap later, and we've got to work in the point on it. Square it all up. Little change of grinder, something smaller. That tang is ground over dimension, so the grinder will take off any bad marks in it like that, so we can get that out nicely on the grinder. But at this stage it's now ready to go onto the big grinder and get squared up. Your wide tang giving the blade the strength where it's usually at its weakest across here. So we'll get all that tidied up and make it look nice. So the blade's starting to clean itself up, just got to square this off. We're ready to work it. That's the blade cut, all cleaned up, ready for the next stage. These have to be done a little bit different, these long knives, with one cutting edge, obviously double bevel, but that's ready for the next stage. We'll see you when you're at it. I'll get all the good jobs.
We're just about to fire up the forge for Dan from Survival Management Group's Langsax.
Hiya, today I'm going to make a little project on that Langsax. A lot of the old migration era swords and Langsaxes, in between the pommel pieces, not pommel pieces, sorry, the hand grip cores, like that, had a little decorative feature, usually a washer that stuck outside the edges of the core pieces, just to give it a little distinct look. So today I'm setting up to make one of those washers. I've got some brass clamped up, and I'm going to heat that up and bend that round this little bit of bar here, which should just give it the right turn. And I'll solder it up, and that'll all be fixed into the end of the middle section of the pommel pieces with epoxy resin, so it doesn't go anywhere. Right, let's see how we get on. I got a few things done today, still ongoing. I've made the handles, roughed out the first stage of the handles, brass bolsters and the central steel washer. That's got to be rounded off, made to look flowing, and then the steel's got to be blacked, so you've got a black, sort of rather a gold black theme running all through the handle hilt. And what I'm doing now is I'm just finishing off the brass washer. It's a rounded bolster washer that sits between the handle cores and just gives a nice little feature there, and makes the handle look and the hilt look pretty. It's a brass round filled with epoxy, then drilled, and then we file like mad. that sits on there. Bit of adjustment that you take up with some epoxy, but when the handle goes together, that gives a really nice little feature in the middle. Yeah, quite pleased with how she's coming together. That's got to go in the temper and have the edges ground on. Also got to work on the rear bolster, or the rear guard, and the washers, rear washer bolsters. Make them look pretty. Busy day. Well, there's the pommel. It's going to be the pommel piece going in. I'm going to do the first grinding to get the shape, and then I'm going to fine tune the shape on this wheel on my big grinder. There will be sparks. Afternoon. I've been working on a couple of knives, but I've found a bit of time to get back to Daniel's Langsax. What we've done today, I'll show you. We've fitted the brass, got it balanced up around the steel round pommels, got the centre feature in place. Now I have got the task of cutting this down and fitting that pommel onto there, so that crowns the end of the sacks off. Should look quite nice when it's done. Anyway, cutting, grinding and fitting to do. I'll be back when I'm slotting the pommel on. Right, there's the peening stem put on there. I'm just going to put it together for you so you can get a rough idea what it looks like. Oh joys. Right, well there it is. There's the pommel and the peen coming out the top there. Running down, you've got the brass, you've got the steel. That steel will be blacked, so will the pommel. On the underside you've got the brass. Don't know if you can quite see it. Then you've got the feature, which is there on the handle. Just needs realigning and fitting properly. And again you've got the brass, the steel and the brass theme running down there. So I think it's going to be a very nice looking sax. Very nice. Right, perhaps I'll grind it. Perhaps I'll grind the blade. wavers out. And after I've knackered myself polishing, we get a finish like that. Still a little bit of fine wet and dry work to do on it. Take a few little wavers out, but you can clearly see in it, it's got its line. There'll be the runes etched along there and the name of the blade on the other side, along with our maker's logo. But this is turning out to be a rather nice English Langsax fighting knife. Cheers. It's family gathering Sunday. The ladies are watching Christmas films. They're scary.
I'm stressed. I'm
But
meeting with a vet about my
I have other entertainment. While that diatribe's going on, I marked out Daniel's sacks for the etching. Can't do it till a bit later because I blew my etcher up. Anyway, I'll show you when it's done. Right, so here we go. Had to go and get a new power supply. And we're etching the sacks. Quite looking forward to seeing how this one comes out. All the metal being burnt off. I'll show you what it's like when it's done. There you go. Blade nicely etched with the 24 runes of the Elder Forthog. Running out of glue, son. You got any more? I'm not sure.
I can imagine. I mean, it's obvious Lisa's got problems, but it's not nice, is it, having everyone gossip about you?
Cheers, Sam.
Shannon's always been a bit of a dolly bird, fur coat and no knickers. She walks around like that, I wouldn't doubt her. Anyway, she's got previous. Surrounded by all those young
This is
kids
quite
who
interesting.
getting
It's
on
going
now.
on YouTube and someone on telly's talking about not wearing any knickers.
You alright, boy?
When you carry on polishing your porthole.
Oi.
Now with the excitement. Oh, in the league.
Hold on, mate. Let me move this back a bit. Yeah. You didn't put holes in it. What's going on?
Oh. Little offcuts of leather in there. Very nice.
Find them in tangy leather boxes.
It's a bazooka. Oh my god.
It's just a massive dildo.
That's what I said. Oh.
Looks matching.
I'm going to do it for maximum effect and I'll roll it. I'll hold one end.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is what you could have got.
Oh shit. What? Oh my god.
Let's get some light on
Look
it.
at that. Very nice.
Go on, pull it out. That's all.
Giggling.
It's literally just a handle on a sheet.
Oh, wow.
Gondor. Beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful. The question is,
Yes, it will.
will she cut?
That is why that is there. Like butter. Like
That's
butter.
cardboard.
That is
ridiculously sharp.
I don't think I've seen something like that.
Wow.
Chopped tree down.
Now to christen it. I am
My sucker's face and there's lamb.
I don't think I've been this excited since I was 6 years old.
What happened to you when you were 6?
Well, Uncle Jimmy.
Good old Uncle Jimmy. Good old Uncle Jimmy.
When I was on Jim will fix
Oh,
it.
no,
Got his release date soon.
Thank you so much.
Stay there.
Stay there.